And hi guys, and welcome to this live review of Pacific Rim Uprising, Pacific Rim 2. So I was just coming out from a Bulgarian stream, actually of Far Cry 5, and I'm also ready to share my thoughts on the game, like first impressions, but that probably is gonna be tomorrow or whatever, first thing that I can manage. But now we are talking about Pacific Rim. The faraway Pacific Rim. So let me just tune in to see. Yes, I do see the comments. And hi Marto. So I'm glad that you can join me on this stream. So yeah guys, starting. So first I have to say, if you haven't watched my review of the first movie, I didn't quite like it that much. I mean, I wasn't ecstatic about it. I just, was like, okay, it was like okay movie. I didn't get too emotionally involved in it, unfortunately. It just didn't, click in me. Like, it didn't trigger anything basically positive that much. So it was just okay. And now with this second movie, I didn't expect much, especially from, what I saw from the trailers, if you watch my, of course, reactions to them. And first, again, since this is a live review and now you can watch the comments even when this is recorded, Ivy is here. Yeah, Pacific Cry. Awesomeness from Marto. Good night. Yeah, good evening, Ivy. And yeah, I know it's very late, but like I said, I was just coming back from almost 2 hour stream on a Bulgarian channel, Next TV. So, the movie. Guys, I was, watching it and I'm thinking, okay, because, in the trailers, everything looks so freaking cheesy. Like, so cheesy. Even the way that John Boyega was looking at the camera was like painfully cheesy. But in the movie, everything works. Like, it works. It's not as cheesy. I mean, the world, the way that it was set up with John Boyega's character was pretty much very understandable. It's not like you haven't seen anything like that before. Well, you haven't seen anything quite like that before, because this is about the big huge monsters and the alien race behind them that is ruling everything. And I mean, pretty much they're, directing what the heck's gonna happen. So I'm not gonna get into spoilers. I just mean that when they build up this world, I mean, they show it how they show it, with John Boyega's character being the son of the previous, you can say, main guy from the last movie. It's like a kind of a cliche, but in the same time, it's okay. I mean, the way that it's presented, it's pretty like, well, okay, get it, that's possible. It's not like it isn't possible. So the movie just makes you think that this is fine and is not as bad and is cheesy, because you can present different story elements in so many different ways, and you can just sit there and not buy anything. But from this movie and how it's made, it's pretty satisfactory for what it is. Yeah. Oh yes, Ivy. I will say, I mean, I don't want to interrupt my own train of thought because it is very late and I'm trying to think about everything most important so I can tell you guys. But basically, for Ivy, for everybody else that wants to watch this, if you like the first movie, and I didn't, pretty much, almost didn't, I think that you can enjoy this one. It's super faithful to what the previous movie was, but it just kind of makes everything more fun. And although it is like cheesiness, like I said, it is presenting everything in a very like fun way. I mean, I was having fun through and through, and I wasn't bored, not in any minute of this movie. I just wasn't. I was very interested the whole time. And there was this second main character, which is like a 15-year-old girl, and she has spunk to her, she has an attitude to her, but not like in a super annoying manner. And excuse me, why I'm getting so many messages all of a sudden? Oh, okay. Interesting. Just let me get to the comments, guys, real quick. And again, not to lose my train of thought, but I have to, read what you guys are saying. I'm so glad that YouTube implemented this feature and now everybody can watch the comments. Okay. Do you hear me correctly or not? Okay. Okay, well, that's not the movie by Guillermo del Toro this time. The director is Steven Estenite, I think. Well, you were disappointed. Okay, everything has different opinions, different views on movies. Like I said, movies are subjective. It depends on even the way that you are brought up. Even your parents, even your whole surroundings when you're growing up, you have different values, different, entertainment, how you see the world, and what you basically assimilate and how you interpret everything. So everything has a meaning to it, and that's why everybody has different perspective on movies. But continuing, with the movie, I think, and I'm gonna say this for Ivy again, everybody that do wants to see it, this is so for the movies, because it has great scenes, amazing special effects, especially in the photorealistic way that these Jaegers look like. They look amazing, and they move so good. When you watch Transformers in this, Transformers is much I mean, it has great special effects, for the most part, but the way that metal feels like here in this movie, the way that the Jaegers feel, they're so much more massive, more powerful, more durable, incredibly. And what the heck, sorry, I'm gonna remove the phone because I'm getting constant notifications. So it's so much more, how to say this, prominent. You can feel it. You can just be like, wow. I mean, if the Jaeger has a broken glass, if it has some kind of a malfunction on it or whatever it is, you freaking feel for that Jaeger and the metal and how it gets all scratched out and all of that, how it moves, how heavy it is, how much damage each Jaeger can do just by walking. It's freaking awesome the way that they're presented, and to make them buy them, as robots, as machines, that they have, such a huge size. You have to do this correctly, to the whole feeling of the movie, and they did that perfectly. And as for the fight scenes with the Jaegers, they were amazing to watch. I loved every second of them, and there's real consequences if if things don't turn out the way that you think that they're gonna turn out. So also as a story, actually, I just thought of that. There's very interesting moments here and there that I was like surprised by. I didn't expect them to happen. So I'm like, okay, I didn't expect, the direction that they took in, at one point. Oh yes, yeah. And you like it? Yeah, about the young teenager, don't talk spoilers. Okay, that's in the beginning of the movie, but basically this 15-year-old girl, she's very smart, and the first thing that I was thinking watching the movie is like, okay, how is this teenager able to do this? Yes, this is really unbelievable, guys. It really freaking is. So yeah, how is she doing that? You just get an idea that she basically grew up in this world very, very alone because she was left without her parents at a very young age. So like most of people in this world, she had to hustle. She had to think of different ways to survive, and she was sneaking everywhere where she could because she's very small. and she was able to steal parts. But how she has the engineering mind to build something like that? Maybe she found a schematic, I don't know, but the movie never quite explained this. And since this is not a very serious movie overall, I don't think that that's a problem. I usually would. I would, but just how the movie was set up, I kind of believe that that's possible. I mean, first I didn't at all, like, what? I mean, okay, she can be smart, but really that's such an advanced technology, except or unless the technology is so advanced for so many years now that people got used to understanding it somehow. I don't know, because it didn't seem very surprising that she built her own Jaeger at first. I mean, to some people, yeah, but to that cadet that looked like worst version of Scarlett Johansson, if you know who I'm talking about, she was very rude. I mean, she wasn't, she didn't expect, not expect, but she wasn't impressed at all by this girl and her building abilities. She was just bitter and pretty much a bully. So yeah, enough about the girl. Just gonna catch up with the chat real quick. But comparing to Transformers, this is more in terms of storytelling. Like I said, it's still cheesy, but not in any. I mean, on the level that Transformers is. Like when I see Mark Wahlberg and he's speaking, it's like literally seeing Mark Wahlberg. He's himself. It's so freaking annoying, and the kid there, in the last movie, annoying. It just doesn't flow as well. Everything is forced, everything is artificially made, and here these characters feel like real characters and real people, cadets and Scott, that guy, Scott Eastwood's character, he was great for what he was as a character, a great guy. And John Boyega's character, he did understood why he has to, act more mature and all of that. So yes, there is some things that you're seeing them and you're like, okay, this is not that believable. But when you progress with the movie, it all meshes like well, and you buy this type of cheesiness and this type of storytelling. And like I said, the movie kept my attention the whole time. Like the whole time I was not bored, because you have some Jaeger fights sprinkled throughout, and then you have this amazing huge battle that I personally didn't guess how it's gonna go and how it eventually turned out to be. So the responsibility of these cadets to pilot the huge robots, how concentration and control of your feelings, thoughts is so important for the good compatibility with the pilots and all of that, and what you can achieve when there's really amazing compatibility with the pilots. So kind of fascinating even the way that this is done. Yeah, about John Boyega, what to tell you? I mean, I did like him a lot in this movie. Yeah, I mean, he did play this character, not his Star Wars character, so for what he did here, I'm pretty pleased, because he doesn't seem like he's one-dimensional. That's what I can say. Well, oh my god, I mean, OMG, no, it doesn't mean, I mean that, some movies are just made more believable than others, because the movie knows that it's not like a super serious Oscar-worthy movie. It knows that it's a, super fantastic action flick and all of that. So for what it is, I mean that it's made the way that you kind of believe it, that is possible. And there are these kids, I mean, sorry, in the world that are wunderkinds, they are so smart, they can figure things out almost from nothing, they just have a knack for it. They have a sense for it. It's called a talent. So sometimes in a very interesting circumstances, some things are possible that for a normal person would look, so far away from the truth, but sometimes it really is. There's kids that are so smart these days that they basically can explain to you so many space theories and even develop themselves. I watched such a kid recently somewhere on an interview. So I mean that this is a fictional, post-apocalyptic, version of the world with all of these alien, uh, alien huge type of dinosaurs, type of Godzilla monsters, and we have human race that actually developed such an advanced technology that we are able to have those freaking giant robots. It's just amazing, amazing. So, again, it's hard to believe when you think about our world, how things are here now. But when you think that a lot of humans are extraordinary, although they are rare, they do exist. So in that way, why not? If she was alone for so many years, she, researched different scraps, maybe sold that to have a life, to eat something, and eventually she was, the only thing that she had was to be interested in something, so she took as a hobby this Jaeger building and how the technology works and what could be done. If she doesn't have, school, so she dedicated all of her time on that. So that is kind of self-explanatory in a movie, but I do see that it's kind of not enough for what they explained and showed. It's definitely not enough. But I'm just saying that for what the movie is, I'm pretty okay with that. Not gonna hold it too much against the movie. Because overall, guys, I had like an amazing freaking fun with it. So, most characters, you can say interesting. One bad person, I'm gonna just say bad person. I thought the whole time that the villain was a particular person, and then there was a twist and it was another one, and I was like, okay, that was like interesting. I mean, there's so many things about, how the monsters worked. It wasn't like just, oh, here's robots and here are these monsters and just mindless fighting. I mean, there was an idea behind those monsters, the alien race, and there was an idea behind how the humans react to that, the technology behind it, and yeah, the structure of the world, how companies or company is trying to think of another technologies to fight the monsters, how, although it was 10 years from the last accident, how they prepare for a next attack, possible next attack. So I think that this movie, at least for me, as all the ideas that were explored and the world building, how humans were in this world, I think that they did a pretty good job. Even for me to say so many things about the movie is surprising in the first place, Oh, when Irko's going to bed. And yes, I do love the ending was interesting, yes. Just a second. Okay, just let me go back to your comments, and I have to end the stream because it's very freaking late for me. It's midnight. Okay, so yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I'm just reading the OMG comment. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I do think that it's gonna be better if they explain it a bit more, but yeah. It's not such a big deal. There's some things in movies that you can just explain them, but I don't think this is the case. So that's why I don't hold it against the movie so much. Okay, so finally I have to give the movie a score. Lastly, I'm just gonna emphasize again that this is a lot better. It's 2 p.m. for you, well, it's midnight and 2 minutes for me. And I still have to go to work tomorrow. So, Disappointing, yeah. Well, if you trust my judgment, Ivy, and I know you do, you can check it out for yourself. I don't think it's worth like full price, because full price here is very expensive in my opinion, but if you can watch like in half price or some kind of a promotion, if you have these things there, I recommend that. So that's it, guys. If I have to give it some kind of a rating, as I always do, I would say that Pacific Rim Uprising is a movie with robots that is a lot better than Transformers. Okay, I would say that is a movie with robots. It's 8. 8 out of 10. I always give my ratings not just compared to every movie, but just compared to movie in its own category. I think that that is most fair to the movies, because again, movies are subjective, but at least I can put them into their own category so you can know how this movie is compared to similar movies like this in style. Okay, so that's it, guys. I'm just gonna again look at the comments real quick. Yeah, thank you. Good night. Yeah, I'm gonna crush the weights. Yes. Thank you, OMG. Thank you. I'm just, giving my honest opinion. And guys, let me know in the comments, actually, do you like this new live format? Do you prefer it to the previous already recorded and edited format? Yes, I'm making more mistakes because I am talking in English, not in my own language, and I'm trying to say everything as best as possible, but it is live and we can interact with each other. And again, even if you watch this recorded, you can still read people's comments on the side, and it's just great feature of YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's, for a robot movie, definitely 8 out of 10. I don't know what it should be 10, but I think that this is, 8. Thank you. Thank you, OMG. Thank you to Marto, to Ivy, to Irko, who is already sleeping. Of course, to Seven Senses, everybody that watched and haven't commented but watched. So thank you very much, guys. And have a great night. Those of you that are gonna sleep, or have a great day and a great new week. And I hope that I can return with first impression of Far Cry 5 if you're interested in my gaming content. Oh, thanks, Ivy. Yes, of course, everybody can donate if they like. Okay, Dobby. What movie will I do next? Well, whatever is basically on the horizon. I don't know what movie I should see. I mean, I did see Game Night. I still haven't been able to review that. I kind of promised I will, so I will try to review Game Night live again. It's just a comedy, but still, maybe some of you are interested in that. So we'll see, guys. But of course, Avengers Infinity War is on the horizon, and I'm going probably on Friday, the first day that the movie's gonna air here, which is the same day that's gonna come out in all countries, I think. Well, OMG, if you like to know when I'm gonna stream, because some things, these live streams kind of happen in the last minute because of my schedule, you can just follow me on my Facebook page, Gary G Reviews. It's right here under the video in the description. So it's just Gary G Reviews. It's with the same logo, with my logo here, my new logo actually. So you can just check that, and I post maybe 20 minutes before stream so I can let people know. And yeah, but again, with the streams I can do a lot more content for you guys, so I'm happy about that. Okay, so ending the stream here. Again, you have a very good night, and oh No, actually, it lived up to the first movie, at least for me. It was better than the first movie, but I recommend, because I explain a lot about that, just recommend for you to, just stop and go back, see the whole review, because I did explain a lot about the movie. But for me, it's better, and I give it an 8 out of 10 for a robot related movie, you know. Yes, the bell, of course. Thank you, Ivy, for mentioning this. Oh, thank you, Seven Senses, for letting me, for, saying in Bulgarian, good night. Bye, OMG. Bye to everybody. Yeah, just go back and watch the whole review if you like. And till next time with me, Gary G. Reviews.